Today we're going to be looking at learning target 4F, which is being able to identify and interpret a linear function in point-slope form. To begin, let's look at the equation for point-slope form. Remember, this is just another form that you could write a linear function in when you're writing an equation. The equation y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1 is point-slope form. The x1 and the y1 refer to any point on the line, and the m refers to the slope of the line. To begin, let's see if we can find the point and a slope in each equation. So the first one's done for you. For the equation y minus 3 equals 1/2 x minus 6, the point that the line goes through is 6, 3, and the slope is 1/2. Take a couple minutes to see if you can find the point and slope in the other three equations. Pause the video until you're ready to see the rest. Looking at the other solutions here, for this second problem, the point is 1, -4. Now notice the sign that is used here between the y and the 4 is a plus, which makes this point -4. You can think of it in two ways, either the opposite of what you see in front of you, or you can think of it as what plus 4 would give you 0 there. You can think of this x value the same way. So your point would be 1, -4, and your slope is -2/5. This third one, your point would be -3, 6. Notice your x value is a +3 there. So this has to be a -3 point, and +6, and your slope here is -2. This fourth one's kind of tricky because it does not look like we have a slope there. There's no value there. Anytime there's no value there, your slope, you can assume, is a 1. So we have a slope of 1 and a point of 7, -4. Being able to identify the point and the slope from an equation is a very important skill. Now that we know how to do that, let's see if we can graph these situations. So for the equation y minus 3 equals 1/2 x minus 6, we want to create a graph. We do that by first starting at the point that's given to us. So in this point, we've got the point 6, 3. So I'm going to take my point and put it at 6, 3. Right there. We then are going to use our slope. So our slope is up 1 over 2. Remember, it's rise over run. So from that point, I'm going to go up 1 and to the right 2. And again, I'll go up 1 and to the right 2. I could also, from that original point, go the other way, down 1 and to the left 2, because it follows the same pattern. I can then draw my line to represent that linear function. Let's look at another example. We want to create a graph from this equation, y plus 4 equals -2/5 x minus 1. We're going to start by looking at the point that's given to us. So we have the point 1, -4. So I'm going to start at the point 1, -4. Our slope is -2/5, so I'm going to go down 2 and right 5 from that point. Notice if I go down 2 and right 5 again, I will run out of space, so I'm going to go ahead and go the other way, up 2 and left 5 from my original spot. Should put a point there. I can now, that I have all those, I can go ahead and draw my line to represent this linear function. Being able to graph it is important, but here we've got to write an equation. So we're given 2 points, -3, 5, and 2, -1. The first thing that you're going to have to do if you want to write the equation is calculate the slope. So you do that just like we did earlier in this unit by taking your two y values and subtracting them. So 5 minus negative 1 can be rewritten as 5 plus 1. And negative 3 minus 2. Always remember, whatever y value is first, that corresponding x value has to be first on the bottom. So we do end up with a slope of negative 6/5. We can then choose either point. It does not matter. When you choose those points, you can then write, if we use this point here, we end up with the equation y minus 5 equals negative 6/5 x plus 3. Or if we use the point on the right, we end up with y plus 1 equals negative 6/5 x minus 2. I know these two equations look different, but they both fall on the same line, and both would represent the line that goes through those 2 points. So you could end up with either as your solution. Go ahead and try it for these 2 points. Pause your video until you're ready to see the solution. So just like last time, first thing we need to do is calculate our slope. So when we do our y minus y over x minus x, we get the slope of 5 over 3. Then depending on which point you picked, if you picked the point on the left, you would end up with y plus 3 equals 5/3 times x minus 2. Or if you picked the point on the right, you would have y plus 8 equals 5/3 times x plus 1. Again, I know those two equations look completely different, other than the slope, but they both represent the line that goes through those 2 points. Now that you're able to write equations, let's look at being able to write equations from a story problem. In this story problem, Mr. Braychek was riding his bike along the Centennial Trail. After 2 hours of riding, he noticed that he was passing mile marker 28. Mr. Braychek also noticed that he was traveling at an average speed of 8 miles per hour. With that given information, we should be able to write an equation. So the big things that you're looking at here is my rate of change is 8 miles per hour. That is our slope, or our m value. After 2 hours, I'm at mile marker 28. Those 3 pieces will help us write our equation. So again, if you look here, our slope is 8, so that goes there in the place of the m. After 2 hours, I'm at mile marker 28. So here is our 2 hours, and here is our mile marker 28. Let's look at another example together. Mr. Dunn and his fiancée are saving up money for a wedding and have agreed to start an account special for this occasion. His fiancée puts a set amount in the account to start and asks Mr. Dunn to save $200 per month. After 5 months, Mr. Dunn notices there's $4,000 in the account. So again, here's our rate of change, the $200 per month that he's saving. And here's our point. At 5 months, there's $4,000 in the account. So to write our equation, our slope, or our rate of change, goes right here. Our point, 5 months, $4,000. Our 5 months goes there because it's the independent variable. And the $4,000 goes there because it is the dependent variable. Here's a story problem to try for yourself. Go ahead and pause the video until you're ready to see the solution. Here's the equation you should have came up with. Notice this clam is burrowing at a pace of 2 feet per minute. So since it's going down, burrowing means digging, our slope would be -2. After 3 minutes, it is 8 feet underground. So notice that 3 minutes, it's a positive value, so that should be there. And 8 feet underground, we're talking about down below the earth, so that makes that a +8. For this learning target, these are the 3 things that you should really be able to do. Find the slope and point from an equation, use the given information to graph the line, and be able to write equations in point-slope form. Come to class with any questions you have.